Hello, and thanks again for joining me on another making of video. We have a very beautiful song again. This time we have another song from Maria Grieber, the Mexican composer. We have talked a little about her in the past, and we are going back to another of her splendid songs that she shared with the world. And you know that the first thing that I do is that if available, I share with you the recording or the singer, or how is it that it was the first time that I heard this song. And let's say funny thing, I really don't remember when was the first time that I heard it. And I think that it was somehow recently, maybe at some time in the past 5 years. And I think I remember a female voice singing the main phrase of the song. By the way, I still haven't told you the name because we're going to get there. But I somehow remember a female voice singing it. I think, or I feel that I have that melody in my background, in the background, running in the background in my head, but I can't tell if it was a movie, it was somehow on the radio. I don't think it was a recital or a concert because that would be much clearer in my mind. Or maybe it was part of a movie. I really don't know. But what I know is that when I was a few years ago, when I started gathering some of Maria Grieber's scores, I remember having read the name and somehow reading the name of the song clicked on that part with that part in my brain that kept reminding me of the melody of the song, and that's when I thought that I needed to download that score and keep it for later rehearsal or actually recording it or doing something about it. And there were, after that, I am pretty sure that there were many years where I really didn't pay attention to that until last year when I was working or thinking on what to do at La Isla del Cuale, those entries that I captured for a blog, of which I am pretty clear that we haven't talked a lot about that. And I remember or I recall that I told myself that I should start working on that song. And I am sure that as soon as you listen to the melody, you will recognize it. It will make sense to you. I am pretty aware that this is one of the many songs by Maria Grieber that people have made a dozen variations, and there are 1,000 versions of it in YouTube and of course many other platforms. There are musicians from other genders or a good variety of genders that have worked on that song. So there is a multitude of choices that you can select or pick from in order to have the one that you like best. I will share with you that particularly on and it is not anything more than just my perspective. Personally, I don't like the version in English, and moreover, I don't like the name that it was given to it. What a beautiful day it may be, or something like that, is the way it was translated. So that's the mainstream of the translation. I really don't think. I know that it has to be put into words that that give some meaning or that give a similar impact for the English speakers. But as a native speaker of Spanish, I can tell you that that's not really the spirit of the song. I understand that artists can and always have taken songs to make them the way or make the interpretation or the rendition of the song that they think is best. It's best. I will not go full detail into criticizing what they have done. I only can share that I really do not agree, and I really do not think that's the spirit of Maria Grieber's music, and not even the words that were translated into English. And as we are making an effort of keeping or sharing with you a good number of the extraordinary music, and mainly or emphasizing the ones that are in Spanish and moreover those from Mexican composers. That's why we are keeping that beautiful version from Maria Grieber in Spanish. But enough talk. And since I cannot, as I just said, since I cannot share with you who, when, or how, what I am going to share with you is the accompaniment that I found in YouTube, and that is the one that was used for the postcard because it is absolutely amazing. And I want to invite you to join to listen to this beautiful piano. And I will be following on the screen with the words on the actual score that I have a copy of, so that you can see how the of course, if you go to the postcard, you will realize that I already put there the link to the accompaniment. It would be very nice of you if you could go there and like it. I know that the owner of that would be very happy to see many people are pleased about it. And I will stop talking and start sharing that amazing music. And I'm pretty sure that you really liked the piano playing this song. Um, so let's try, before we jump into the lyrics of the song, I would like to share or say something else like to share something else with you. Um, if you happen to be yourself or to know a singer, he or she may share with you that sometimes it's very hard to find not a good musician to accompany you because very good musicians there are thousands. Thanks to life for that, but to have someone who can actually understand the singer and make a good um, or work together into getting the best result, it's not that easy to find. Because when you have an extraordinary musician by your side, they usually like that you adjust to what they want and sometimes they do not hear to what the singer is actually telling them when the singer thinks he would like to keep a note a little longer, start a little earlier, emphasize something, and you know all the things that singers do. So to find someone who does it with the other artist who is playing the instrument and who actually understands the words to support singing is not that easy to find. And then I think that in this case, the pianist is not would not only be a great accompanist or do a great job in accompanying the song, but I think that the piano itself does not need any voice of any singer's voice there, right? That's what I wanted to tell you, that sometimes just listening to the piano music is just more than enough. But when you think that this is not enough, we can always go back to the words. And the name of the song, finally, I am going to say it, it's Cuando vuelva a tu lado. It would be something if I would translate it into English or to give a closer idea to what is expressed in Spanish. It could tell you about that day when I may return to you. Not a certain day, not tomorrow, but not too late, but sometime in the future, it's going to happen. And that's what the name means. Cuando vuelva a tu lado. I may return by your side sometimes. And when that happens, please don't refuse or don't refuse to kiss me. Please share your kisses with me because the love that I have given you, you will never be able to forget. But please do not ask me anything because I will not be able to explain you anything at all. Because that kiss that you denied to me, you can no longer give. That time when I may return by your side and I'll be along with you, all those things that I'm telling you, please do never repeat. Por compasión, I mean, I think that's pretty close, cognate into English, that compassion. So he or she, remember we have talked about that in the past also, whether it is a man or a woman. By the way, I also kept the original gender that is written here. I still think that it is very childish to make the gender of the singer match the gender that is actually in the song, given that we should be mature enough to understand that it can be sung for either sex. So, I'm moving ahead with that. So, with that compassion or from compassion, please. This is a very elegant way to say kiss me because instead of saying kiss me, which is one word, it's asking to unite, to put together your lip and mind, which means, of course, kiss me. And please hold me in your arms and count the heartbeats of both. And this is a very interesting expression because when the song says that please count the heartbeats, it talks about the nuestro corazón, which is singular. What the song is actually telling us is that when we are together, embracing, kissing, we are together, we are one heart. The song does not say count the heartbeats of our hearts in plural. It is in singular. We together are a single heart. Then you go back and repeat Cuando vuelva a tu lado, that time the time I may get back to you again, and I will be alone or yeah, along with you. All the things that I will be telling you, please do not repeat never again, and please have compassion. Kiss me and hold me strong in your arms and count the heartbeats of our heart. And that's how the song actually ends. And and here, and that's why I was telling you that as we have mentioned in the past, Maria Grieber's style is very clear because I had also shared with you in the past that she likes writing the music so that it matches the perfect rhythm of the actual speaking in the native language that is Spanish. So when you say an expression like cuando vuelva a tu lado, of course there are notes written here, but when you say cuando vuelva a tu lado and you do a little change in the singing, of course, just to give that music on this that sensation on the music. It is very close to how we actually speaking, and that's part of Maria Grieber's style. She writes as she was, or the closest to speaking. The natural rhythm of the language is here. Cuando vuelva a tu lado, no me niegues tus besos. Maybe a little longer lado, maybe a little longer besos, but that is something very close to what a person in this state of mind or in this state of emotion would say. Cuando vuelva a tu lado, no me niegues tus besos, que el amor que te he dado no podrás olvidar. No me preguntes nada, que nada de explicarte, que el beso que negaste ya no lo puedes dar. Cuando vuelva a tu lado y esté sola contigo, las cosas que te digo no repitas jamás. Por compasión, une tu labio al mío y estréchame en tus brazos y cuenta los latidos de nuestro corazón. If you noticed, this plain reading of the lyrics that I just made is pretty closer to the actual melody of the song. Of course, with a better tuning and putting or the collocation of the voice, all that the technical stuff that singers do. But it is actually what very naturally would come into the spoken language of Spanish. Also remember that not only Maria Grieber writes very close to the rhythm and natural intonation of Spanish, but she also likes to, besides sounding almost like speaking, all those phrases are pretty close and that do not demand those. There are complete phrases that are just three notes maximum of difference. So you don't have in those lines any huge change, like when say Cuando vuelva a tu lado. If you see the whole phrase is pretty close, it does not go very high like Cuando vuelva a tu lado. It would not only seem weird, but that couldn't be Maria Grieber's style. When she wants to go a little higher, she takes the whole notes or the whole phrase. It is now displaced a little higher, like in this, where we have most of C's. And again, there is usually a range of three, maximum five notes close to to the most used note, so that it would still keep the natural rhythm of the voice. Because unless we are shouting or yelling, we usually speak pretty close the same notes when we are speaking naturally. So, and that would be one thing that I wanted to share with you. I was also telling you that the phrase that we usually keep on our minds is the melody of the actual song. Cuando vuelva a tu lado. Cuando vuelva a tu lado y esté sola contigo. The phrase of cuando vuelva a tu lado, and that is the one that I had running in my mind. I'm pretty sure that it will also capture you because not only it is a very nice phrase in Spanish, but also it is so full of meaning when you say cuando vuelva a tu lado. You are dreaming, you are thinking of that day when that will happen, and on that day that you have in your mind and you're picturing in your mind, y esté sola contigo, and you imagine now that you're alone with your beloved one, and you keep imagining that the things that you will be telling him or her, and you asking him or her that he or she should not be repeating. You see, you are picturing a full story in your mind of what will actually happen when you may or you shall return to your beloved one. And I do not want to close today's video without sharing with you something that has been in my mind for the past 3 weeks, I think. The moment that I decided that I wanted to have Cuando vuelva a tu lado as part of the postcards is that we know that Maria Grieber somehow included or made part of her songs of her biography. For those who are aware or remember what we have shared in the past, there is a good number of years. She was married to an American. Uh, when the Mexican Revolution started, a few years later, she went to the US her husband stayed in Mexico, and it took a good number of years for him to go to the US and rejoin Maria Grieber. From my perspective, in this song, she is picturing that moment when she would, or when she actually had her husband with her again. Good number of years passed. She knew, or she expected, she desired that he would come back to her. So she pictures in her mind, Cuando vuelva a tu lado, no me niegues tus besos. She's picturing that when her husband comes back and asks her to do not refuse to kiss me, because the love that I have given you, the love they had when they lived in Mexico, you would never, never forget. He also says, no me preguntes nada que nada he de explicarte. There is and I don't want to turn it into a gossip, but my thoughts are that even though it is usually said that Mr. Grieber took a good number of years to go to the US and rejoin Maria, given the complex political and the war state in Mexico. But my thoughts are that the years that he was in Mexico, the revolution was not at the worst part. My thoughts are, and given that he was an American, my thoughts are that he could have traveled back into the US. My thoughts are that there is the suspicion that he was unloyal to her, and that's why this phrase is here. Do not ask me anything. I mean, her husband is telling her, please don't ask me anything because I will not be explaining any of that. That's what I think it's the explanation for this phrase in this song. Again, I don't want to turn it into a gossip, but from my perspective, it makes sense in this song and what she actually meant when she composed it, when she wrote this song. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you loved this song the same way I loved it, and hope to see you sometime soon in another of these making of videos. Thank you and bye bye.